What's going on, guys? This is Mars Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls commentary. Alright, so this will be my first video for the Dark Souls 1 remaster, and first and foremost I'd like to give everyone a thanks and a shout out for everyone who has left comments on some of my older videos or who have sent personal messages asking, my whereabouts, asking how everything has been, and for the most part inquiring as to whether I would be uploading videos or not. Right, so as you know, with the brigade, I've got an answer for that. So as I have uploaded more than 250 or so Dark Souls related videos, dude, I've probably covered every possible topic. I have something for pretty much everyone. I've done, Dark Root Invasion commentaries. I've done Berg videos. I've hosted In the Forest. For a lot of you guys that may have started with Dark Souls 2 or Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3, maybe one of your favorite uploaders have, featured a Battle of the Uploader video. Well, guess what? The Brigade is the one who started it. That all started on my channel. I also started a Battle of the Build series, and the reason why I did that is because back in the day when the game was first released, everyone was running the same type of build. So the reason why I started to upload was because I wanted to do whatever I could to demonstrate to people that you did not necessarily have to follow the meta to be successful. Right, so if you're new to the channel and you kind of don't really know what to expect, let me give you a quick overview. You will not see that much try hard, or what some might consider to be try hard gameplay when I'm in this type of setting, PvPing with friends. Maybe I'm in a burg, maybe I'm in a township, because one thing that I always like to do is get better, practicing my spacing, practicing my timing, understanding the basics, knowing when to lock on, knowing when to lock off, knowing how to pivot correctly. You know what I'm saying? And in my personal opinion, the best way for me to do that is to not stack a crap ton of poise, and not follow the meta. The meta for a lot of people is, probably Havel Momming, which there's nothing wrong with that. Or, from what I see, stacking like 150 poise with the gold tracer, or something similar, something to the typical Brandon build, and again, not saying anything negative about his build. I'm just saying he has a lot of followers, and I've been seeing a lot of that, either the Falcon or they use the improvised Brandon build with the gold tracer. But guess what? A lot of those dudes are a one-trick pony. And in the absence of their little gold tracers and their little 90 poise, they can't do anything. And you want to know why? Because they never studied the basics. So that's basically what my channel is about, covering the basics. Now, when I do invasions, I go all the way out. Hornet rings, ninja flipping, whatever the case may be, because as I've mentioned in the previous video, I personally duel like a duelist and invade like an invader. That's basically my philosophy on things. When I'll duel, I want to practice, I want to get better, as I just said. But when I invade, I don't give a shit who's there or what I have to do to kill them. It's time for me to go out. So, again, I don't know how long I will be uploading videos for this channel, but for the most part, what you will expect, what you can expect, is a variation in gameplay. As you can probably tell from my from the few fights that I'm showcasing now, right? I'm only rocking 41 poise. I'm not using, what you might consider to be the meta weapons, which there's nothing wrong with either. But I like to showcase to people that you don't need to do all that just to be successful. And for a lot of you guys who like to play, and you're a little less competitive than the tryhards, hopefully these videos will give you a little inspiration as you're going through your PvP experience. Now, one funny thing about it is someone left a comment on my video, and they were saying how, you know, as they were PvPing with the remaster, they just thought about the video that I uploaded around 5 years ago titled In Defense of the Toggle Escape. And basically in that video I was just talking about, and now keep in mind this video came out a little bit before the release of Dark Souls 2. And, you know, following the network test, we all realized that there were not going to be poise. There was not going to be poise to the same extent as it existed in Dark Souls 1. And, you know, I was just talking about it. Basically saying that in the absence of a toggle escape, like, PvP is going to be much different. Now, you know, how true, you know, that was or not, I don't really know, because I didn't like Dark Souls 2. As a matter of fact, that's basically when I fell off as far as uploading. I did not like Dark Souls 2. I still don't like it to this day, right? Not saying anything bad about it for the people who love it, but I never liked it. Never liked the spacing. Never liked the movement. I never liked that game at all. But that was the reason why I uploaded that video. And a lot of times, you know, when I'm PvPing now, I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of similar to almost everything that I talked about in that video. Which I mean, again, I'm not knocking anybody's play style, but one thing about me, I basically have no filter when I do commentaries, right? I'm not trying to please anyone. You know, these are my opinions and my opinions alone. You know, many of you will agree, many of you will disagree. Many of you who sometimes agree will at other times disagree, and I'm fine with that. But one thing you will know, I will not make any videos to make people happy, right? Meaning, you know, my opinions change with the direction of the wind. No, it doesn't happen like that. The brigade is pretty much going to give you exactly what I think. And you know, I think a lot of people respected that when I used to upload years ago. So that's pretty much it. I didn't really have that much to talk about. Perhaps in a later video I'll go more in depth with some of the observations that I've made in the PvP and the remaster. The piss poor quality of invasions, basically because they brought that Dark Souls 3 weapon matchmaking crap to Dark Souls 1, which they have ruined the forest. You know, they have really ruined a lot of things with this game, and I hope there's a patch coming in the future, because the forest was so much fun back in the day. For a lot of you guys, again, who were not around for Dark Souls 1, maybe you were kids, maybe you started with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, please go watch some of Spades' videos on him in the forest. Go watch some of Dark Souls Mind's Eye, another guy. That guy was so inspiring when it came to doing invasions. Go watch a lot of his invasion videos. That's what the forest used to look like. But now, you know, now that I'm on the subject, one thing that I do not understand, you know, I don't mean to make this a super long video, but you know, I don't really write scripts, so I just kind of go off the top of my head. One thing that really pisses me off about the change is they have this weapon matchmaking, you know. So I guess if you have like a, you know, +5 weapon, similar to Dark Souls 3, you know, if you have a +5 weapon, there's only, you know, so many people who can invade you. And I guess they do that to prevent what they call griefing, you know, so-called griefing. But guess what? If a person wants to grief, he's going to grief at the end of the day, because there's a lot of inexperienced players. But my thing is, if you're going to do that, why also allow for 3 additional summons, a host and 3 summons? Like, in other words, if you want to prevent gankings that bad, why not just say, you know what, we're not going to place any limitations on weapon matchmaking, but what we'll do is give you an additional summon. That way it will be, you know, extremely difficult for an invader, assuming that there's only one, to tackle 4 different players. Now in the past it was already difficult enough to tackle 3 players, but now they've enabled 4. right? But whatever reasoning they have behind doing what they did, I really think they ruined invasions. The Berg is a lot less populated, at least in my experience. The forest for forest invasions is not that exciting. Is a lot less populated. The kiln is terrible. I don't know how many times I invaded in the kiln and I basically saw no one. And I'm not inclined to believe that it's because no one is there. I think it really has something to do with the matchmaking priorities. So hopefully they do something about that, because as long as the remaster is going to be live, you know, I want everyone to share some of the good experiences that we'd had years ago. Okay, so enough about that. I really didn't intend to go into all that, but you know, I just had to, because the matchmaking is really annoying at this point. So that's about it for now. I plan to do a few more videos. Again, I'm saying a few, but I mean those few could be 20, right? Or they could be 10. You never know. So, hey, until next time, Martyrs Brigade is out.